I am Joey Hamilton, as always, with Graham Betchart.
Another one, huh? The episodes keep rolling.
Still doing it. We're getting great feedback. Like, dude, we talk about this. We love this work. Like,
Yeah,
this is where
I'm
we're
grateful.
supposed to be.
I'm grateful to do this. I was telling my friend today, it's nice to be able to get to just love, you
Yeah.
know, and we've found a way to do it. And I get excited to do this work every day. And later, I just follow my heart, and it just says to do this. So we don't know where this is going to go, but we live in the wonder, and we're going to see where this needs to go. But this is fun.
I think, like, one of the things you're always saying is, like, this is the process. The thing, what we're talking about is this is the process to becoming love.
I think that, that's super important. Like, you start doing something like this, we're basically dating this show. And if we try to rush to, like, oh, we gotta, like, get to the end of it, we'd be missing right now me and you hanging out in the garage.
Yeah, like,
When I think about what this actually is, it's me and you hanging out in the garage together. And that I'm grateful for.
yeah.
Like, that's the actual thing. And I don't want to rush ahead to, like, wherever this needs to go. You know what I mean? If that's like what getting married is, I'm enjoying dating you right now in this show.
I
I'm
appreciate
enjoying getting to know you,
that.
even though we know each other really well. Because I don't want to move past, like, we're just sitting in our garage. You got these great cameras here. Joey brings lighting. Joey's a savant with all this stuff. This is what's happening. We're looking out my garage. I can see nature.
Beautiful. The ocean is like
There's oceans a
right
mile
there.
down the way. Like, this is it. Like,
Feels
this
good.
this is what we're into, not what's next or wherever this goes. So we're trying to live this vibe with you too, of, like, really just being present with it, letting ourselves be authentic. We're not like, let's do a podcast now. Like, we're just here seeing where it
The
goes.
conversation to me feels so good every time I'm
Yeah, yeah.
here. It's like an hour and some change, which, like, just like you said, just being able to be present with someone that I'm
That's
really
all it
close
is.
with and talking about the things that I think really matter. I've said this before. I don't know if I've said it on the show. When I've had, I don't really know how to say this. Like, if you asked me what is one thought that I absolutely know to be true, um, my answer would be this: since I can remember having thoughts,
Yeah,
the one thing I always have known to be true in the deepest parts of my being is that we are here to love each other,
yeah.
right? And not just
Mm,
love like romantic love, right? We're here to love the people that we're romantic with, our partners. We're here to love our family. We're here to love our children. We're here to love our neighbors. We're here to love the people that we pass in the grocery store that we don't
yeah,
even
yeah,
know.
yeah.
But, like, I've just felt like we are here in existence to just fully love on each other. And so being able to do this work, I
Mm,
feel like brings me closer to that feeling
mm-hmm.
and is allows me
Mm,
to be more my absolute true self. So, like, to me,
yeah.
this has never felt like work with you. It feels like a
No.
blessing and just allows me to just give my free expression of exactly who I am and who I want to be.
Let's go. I love it. Making space for love, and then, I think about, what's your purpose in life or goals. Is like, I think becoming love, like that, experiencing the totality of this whole thing and feeling that. What I've noticed is when people are really feeling present and unlocking everything, they don't really question life. Like, they're experiencing it in those moments. Just joy. You know, uh, but I do like knowing you got to do some training for it. Take some practice.
Yeah.
You don't have to be born with it. Some practical shit, and if you do it, shit works.
Yep.
And I was lucky enough to be taught it, and that's why my whole life I've dedicated to sharing it as best I can. And if I can stay reasonable, I know I look crazy with this tied
I
up
love it,
beard,
man.
but I got a Puma sweatsuit on, so I'm here, like I'm here in real time.
I have a velour sweatsuit. I only brought
Let's
the
go.
jacket with me, but next time I'll bring the pants
Come
so
on.
they'd match.
My goal. This might sound funny. My goal is, when I wake up, if I'm lucky enough to wake up, get a sweat in the morning, right? Get a good workout, get a smoothie, and then put a sweatsuit on. And I'm
I
like,
love that.
and I'm like, if I'm rolling like that, I feel like I can really help people. That's my, like, daily devotionals best. Now, it doesn't happen every day, but, like,
And
that.
eat at taquerias.
And if I can eat that taqueria lifestyle, which is what I love, that's it. Then I can serve and help, and we can go help with love and do all this stuff. I am actually really excited for what we're talking about today, because this was like a part of my life growing up. Like I grew up in the '90s. What am I? Almost 48. I'll be 48 in April. Man, like there was no technology and stuff. We were growing up. So like we had to like talk to human beings, man.
Yeah.
Like it was there was I couldn't like link up on an app or do anything like that. So the skill was like, can you go communicate with someone and talk to someone? And I didn't know this like I maybe not had the words back then, but the skill really was, can I talk to someone and have it not go my way, and I'm okay with that.
That's so hard.
And I'm okay with that. how
That is something that I've
how to
struggled with
miss? How to
for a
miss?
very long time
Okay.
until recently. So
Okay.
we're going to get into today's episode. We've kind of gone through this progression. The last episode we did was about how to navigate the dating apps. So now it's what do we do when we match with somebody or you meet
Yeah.
somebody out
Yeah.
and now you got to interact with them in person.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You
Right.
go on a date.
You got to connect. You got to connect with someone, and maybe even that's how you meet them. Is say you're like at Trader Joe's or you're at wherever, and you've been working on making space for love, so you've opened yourself up. You've recognized there's some stories that are nonsense, so you've observed the stories, right? So and then now all of a sudden this thing is talking that maybe you've kind of pushed down for a while, and you're in the aisle and someone walks by and this thing just goes yes as they walk by. You don't know why, and it's like there's something that's there, and you're like, well, maybe I go talk to him, and then of course if you then you're like all the voices come up. I don't want to get rejected. Who am I to go say it? I don't want to scare it. Like what? Like all the things come up, and yet you're tuned into something that's telling you, let's go, like maybe check this out. And so I think like in this is such a big moment for human. This is a big moment for everybody.
So I'm going to give some real life examples
Yeah.
and a little bit of my experience here. If I match with somebody on a dating app, right,
Yeah.
and we make plans to go meet up, I'm not that nervous. I might be nervous about like, are they who they say they are? Will they look
Yeah.
like?
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm not that nervous about that stuff. And then when I meet them, I'm not that nervous. I've learned that like that experience is going to be a little awkward because we know some stuff about each other from what we've read and what
Yeah.
we've written to each other. And I've just learned to like live in the awkwardness a little bit, right? There's going
Yeah.
to be some
Right.
pauses. There's going to be some like awkward looks, and
Sure.
like that I'm okay with.
Okay.
Other people may not be okay with that. We can use today's episode to kind of like also focus on that. What's really hard for me is if I am out in public and I see
Okay.
somebody that
Okay.
I want to go talk to just to say hello,
Okay. Here we
see
go.
if there's any interest there. I am so terrible. It will take me 20, 30 minutes to like figure out a plan
Okay.
for how, and like for me it's like it's got to be perfect. Like I have to wait for the right time for like a friend to get up or them to go to the bar, like whatever. Like it's insane how long it takes me
Yeah.
to
Right.
do this, and I do it like so. Two stories.
It's all good.
My freshman year of Colgate
Yeah.
at college, I had tickets to a BB King concert,
Okay.
and I didn't have anyone to go with. I walk into swim practice, and my coach goes, "Well, do you have who are you gonna go?" And I'm like, "Who are you gonna take?" I said, "I don't know." He goes, "Go into my." He's like, "Come in my office." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "You're not getting into the water until you call somebody and ask them to go with you."
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, "What? Like, what are you doing?" And
That's crazy. Coach making you do it.
yeah, he's like, "Who do you think the prettiest girl in the whole university is?" I was like, "What are you like? What are you trying to?" He's like, "Answer the question." So I told him this girl's name. She was on the lacrosse team.
Okay.
I don't even think that she knew that I existed.
Okay.
Right? And he's like, "Call and ask her." I'm like, "No." He's
No,
like,
I'm just not
like,
gonna do
you're
it.
not getting to the
I'm
water
not
until
gonna
you
do it.
call her, right? So I call her and I'm like, "Hey," I'm like, "It's Joey." I'm like, "I don't know if you know who I am, but I have tickets to this BB King concert, and I want to know if you would go with me." And she very politely was like, "Thank you, but no, thank you."
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
as my daughter likes to say, "No thanks, but thanks for asking."
Good shot.
And that was it,
Okay. Cool.
right? I never interacted with her again. And so it was like spring, that was fall semester. Spring semester, we're like sitting in the dining hall. I'm sitting with the swimmers, like she's with the lacrosse players.
Okay.
And I'm looking over and I'm like, I'm gonna go tell her that I'm the guy that asked her to the concert, right?
Okay.
And then like 20 minutes of like trying to breathe and being like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We all get up to go, and I'm like, I'll meet you guys at the door. And I've got my tray, and I walk over to this table of like women lacrosse players,
That
and
takes a lot.
what it
That's a
feels, I don't know if this
lot.
is what actually happened, but what it
Ooh.
feels like to me is like all the silverware and the plates
Yeah.
and shit are like shaking on the tray. Like I couldn't see straight.
Oh
Like that
yeah.
moment, that Will Ferrell movie where he gives the answer and he was like correct, and they're like I don't even know what happened. I blacked out. That's what that
I
felt
know
like to
that
me.
moment. Yeah.
And I basically said like, hi, I'm Joey. I just want to come over and introduce myself and let you know that I was the guy that asked you to the BBQ
Yeah,
concert.
yeah.
And I'm
Okay.
sure it came out like, right. She was very nice. She said, thank you. It was nice to meet you. And I walked away. Still to this day, a couple weeks ago, last week, I was out with my friend Roberto and we're in a bar and like I see people that I want to talk to and like I don't know how to do it. And his friend JT comes in and he's like, just like I literally told him like you should rent yourself out as a wingman
Okay.
because he was so good. He would just like go talk to somebody and then like 2 minutes later he'd yell your name across the bar like get over here and he just like introduce you and then like I ended up talking to all these people,
Sure.
right? There was one person that
Okay.
I did talk to on my own,
Okay.
um and we've exchanged some text messages. I don't know where it's going to go, but it just felt good to like be out there and like do that.
Yeah.
But all
Yeah.
of this is just to say that like that part of the process is so hard for me. I don't know. I don't take the time, I think, to like think about in my body what's like why it's hard.
Okay.
It's just like it's all the things at once, and I'm like a deer in headlights. Like oh my god, like I can't do this.
Well, clearly you can. I mean, you're doing it and you're alive.
Yeah, I didn't die.
Dude, I think that, like, to me, that's always the start of all this. Okay, let's live in reality. You're not close to death. It's not even close. So you just live in that reality of like, okay, this might feel wild, this might feel insane. I'm actually safe, and I think that's a great start. I always like to share this story. I've trained a bunch of athletes, and it's funny what athletes are really good at is they're good at missing. They're good at making mistakes and bouncing back, right? And learning how to like have grace in those moments and bounce back. I would train a lot of basketball players, and I got if anyone follows hoops, I got to meet a guy named Aaron Gordon when he was 11 years old, just a little kid. Now he's 30, NBA superstar and all this. I got to train him for a long time. When he was 11, I was at a basketball camp. We did this drill, and the drill, I said, "Oh, any volunteers?" Little hand. He was like eager to come up. He came up, and I was like, "Here's the drill. You stand where you are." And 2 feet away, I had a little garbage can, a little empty garbage can, and I gave him a golf ball. I said, "Hey, just shoot that golf ball in the garbage can. You just got to make it." And he was like, "Oh, easy, right? I'm gonna make it, no problem." What he didn't know was that golf ball was automatically gonna bounce out. He was gonna miss, and I wanted to see how he missed, right? How he missed. And so he's there. He's excited. He throws the golf ball. It goes in. It bounces out. And he was like, "Ah!" Like lost his. I was like, "Fuck, man, fuck, what's going on?" And I was like, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "I missed." And I go, "Yeah, if you're great at this, you're gonna miss at least half. And if we react every time we miss like this, there's no way we're gonna be able to move forward and get on to that next one." And he goes, "Are you really teaching me how to miss?" And I was like, "You better believe it." And so he got good at that. We call it next play or next shot, right? Which is like, look, I can't control an outcome here. That's the thing about shooting in sport. You can't control whether the ball goes in or out. When you walk up and talk to another human being, you cannot control what they do, right? And I know we often have this like, I need this outcome to happen, or I want to talk to this person and like get this thing. When you think about a basketball player, if they're shooting going, "Oh fuck, I better not miss this shot," or "I better make it," or "Is it my elbow in, wrist back?" and you're calculating a bunch, you're like, we got really no chance here in this moment. But if you're like, "I'm gonna just trust the process and trust my shot," I'm gonna accept whatever the hell happens after it leaves my hand, right? Once it leaves my hand, that's it. I'm not gonna hang on to what happens. Like I did the job. I did it. And then I'm just gonna be present with it. And it turns out when you shoot from that space in athletics or something, when you relax and go, "I literally can't control the result," and you tell yourself, "I'm okay either way," whether this shot goes in or whether it goes out, actually, it's okay. I'm more curious to discover, I wonder which ones are going to work. I don't know which ones are going to work. And so we live in the unknown. I'm not like, I got to make the shot. And so when athletes train themselves in there, it's amazing what happens. And I think that same approach applies when we're walking, when we're going to talk to a human being, right? Because ultimately, what's the point of an app? What's the point of you watching this podcast right now? What's the point of any of this? Is you can connect with other humans. Like you can go do the actual thing, which is connect. So I think right off the bat, you embrace, hey, let's get good at missing at this. Let's not get good at like it all goes my fucking way. That ain't it. Let's get good at being really okay when it doesn't. And let's start to work on some grace in that moment. So now when we're talking to someone, we're like not trying to get something. We're like, I'm actually just curious to see what happens. And we come with more of an offering. And maybe our offering is just, what's the thing everyone's looking for? Availability, emotional availability. So what if you just came with an open heart and you're like, my intention is just to have an open heart? Go ahead. What the hell's going on?
No, I was just like, I mean, I don't know if you just saw my face, but it was like light bulb, like,
That's what I'm saying. What's happening?
damn. Okay, because the whole time you were talking, I'm like, okay, I understand what you're saying, and I knew, like, so I went out with Roberto last week, and when we went out, I knew all of the things that you're saying, right?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
of like, just get good at missing, right? I literally had this conversation with my daughter the week before, right?
Yeah, yeah.
About other things like basketball and things that she gets nervous about. But in that moment, when I'm like in the game,
In your feelings.
when I'm in my feelings, like
It's
all of that went out the window,
okay.
right? And
Yeah.
so then I like then as you kept talking and you were like, we're training them this. I'm like, okay, like well, I just need to get practice, right? Like I just need to get reps in.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think, and I was gonna ask you like, do you? What is it about sports? Because like in sports, like I don't know, like I never got that. I never got upset about missing things.
Okay,
Like
yeah,
I played
yeah.
lacrosse. I got
Yeah, yeah.
in other sports. Like I never swimming. I never got upset.
You see how you naturally we will do it naturally in some spaces.
Right. And
Where you're
then
like
when you
you're
get into
different place.
relationships, it feels like right. So then what I was thinking was like, there's no right. If I'm shooting baskets, I can go to a gym where no one else is around, and I can just shoot
Yeah.
and shoot, and I either make it or I miss. Like I was at
Yeah.
Club One the other day, and like
Hey.
I don't play basketball, but I grabbed a basketball and I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like just shooting, like trying to like remember from the old days.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
we used to play pickup
Oh
games,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I missed so many shots. I'm like, oh damn it, right? But then I also realized that like they moved the 3 point line since the last time I played
Oh,
basketball,
way
and
back.
all of my shots were that distance away from the hoop. So I'm like,
Short.
all right, I just need to like adjust my shot, right? But anyways, the idea is like in dating
Yeah.
or human relationships. We don't even say dating. There's not like I don't know. Let's say dating because there's not like there's humans everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not walking up to every human in every opportunity and being like, "Hi, I'm
No.
Joey. Like, would you like to hang out sometime?" Right? So those opportunities are so there's just way less opportunities to do that. So it's like, how do you get reps and how do you get reps and how do you get reps in? And then as soon as you said you flipped it from all of this pressure about how they're going to respond, like what that's going to feel like,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Just take control of myself and walk up and say whatever I'm going to say and just make sure that I am like, my job here is to be emotionally available. They can do whatever they like.
Me, that changes everything. So like imagine you're just a waiter. You've been to like a party and people have a nice cheese tray and they just come by and you take it if you want. Right? Boom. And they go somewhere else. They know that cheese is good. Now whether you want it or not, that's okay. You may not even like cheese, or maybe tonight it's not a thing. But they don't present it like if you don't eat it, they're not like, what the fuck, man? Like they're just presenting an offering. So it's like when we connect with people, first of all, if your heart is open, you got an offering. You got the realest offering that exists. I'm available, my heart is open, and I don't need anything from you. That makes people feel safe right off the bat. And so if you walk up to someone, what you're going to feel, this might shock you. Great athletes, everyone fucking feels nervous. It never goes away. So you're never going to not have your heart pounding or feel like there's 10,000 butterflies or your mind is racing. I remember this first pro athlete I worked with, and this really helped me out a lot. This was 21 years ago. Damian Wilkins is his name, Dominique Wilkins' nephew, played in the NBA for like 12 years. We were in Switzerland together doing a camp. And I said, hey man, what's pressure like for you? And he looked at me, he laughed. He said, Graham, what you call pressure, I call joy. And I said, okay, shit. Fuck. I said, okay, what does joy feel like for you, right? He goes, joy feels like I got 10,000 butterflies in my stomach and they're not happy. Joy feels like my mind is racing to the craziest self doubt you've ever seen. Palms are sweaty, heart is pounding, things start to feel tight. And he was like, yeah, I feel like I'm going to like literally piss in my pants. And I was like, that's joy? He goes, yeah. Because when I feel that, I'm about to go hoop. And so I like doing that. And I'm going to go see what happens. And I was like, oh, he's one of the best in the world. He reframed the feelings from something that like some result to like, I'm going to go towards it because there's joy on the back end of this. And then I said, okay, how do you feel 10 minutes later? He goes, after 10 minutes, it actually shifts. All the feelings shift. And it does turn into more of what we would call joy. But like when you know that really good pro athletes still have the feelings and they're one of the best at the world at something, it's not like they go into the game and it's not there. They're like, it's there. They coach themselves really good in that moment. They have a routine. This is where the mental game comes in. So if I'm going on to a date and I'm just randomly showing up and just wiling out and doing anything my feelings feel, it's like, hey, let's get a little routine down. Let's prepare for this. Let's remind ourselves, hey, what's my offering? My energy is my offering. Great, I'm going to open my heart up. How am I going to feel? Really fucking nervous, man. And that's okay. Let's call it something else. Maybe instead of nervousness, we call it, you don't have to call it joy, but what if you called it like
Discovery.
discovery? And you said, let's go discover if they like the offering and just give them an offering and then I'll keep it moving. And I've noticed one of the most amazing things is when you work on total acceptance and you present your offering and then create space and leave and just like make space. You're making space for stuff to happen should it want to happen. And you've opened up this space and you've brought your seasoning to the party and you present it and you're like, maybe that seasoning resonates with them and maybe they bring something. Where people get into trouble is they do all this, but secretly they're like, and I better get a result. You can't do that. That's the part you got to resist. You're going to feel the feelings and enjoy the human experience, man. Just like when I was like, you're not going to die, and you're like, it came up. Weren't close to dying. You're going to feel all these when you talk to people. It's way normal. And so you just embrace it. This is why we work on a couple breathing techniques, just being real, like a couple techniques where you go, hey, if I do this 4-7-8 breath, maybe we'll just do a couple rounds right now.
Okay.
The 4-7-8 breath will help you, like you're in your head, it's all, this will just bring this shit right down. You can do it in your car ride over, right? You're waiting in the lobby at a restaurant, you got 60 seconds, no one even knows you're doing it, and it's a great thing. You could be talking to the person, and they're gently talking about themselves a little bit, and in your mind, it's like, I'm gonna fucking die, and like, God, make sure it doesn't leave me. Like all your shit's coming up, and you go, let's go to my breath, and you're there in the present, and you do the 4-7-8 breath, 1 round, 2 rounds, take it 20 seconds, and all of a sudden it shifts things, and now we're performing, and this is what it was what the great athletes really helped me learn is, wow, we all have feelings. That's the human experience. Welcome to it. There's no way around that, right? And part of our technology is you have to open up. And so, again, the vulnerability, this is part of it, right? So we're going to feel it, but we're not actually in danger. When Damian Wilkins was about to go hoop, when he felt all the feelings, was he in danger? No, not at all. In fact, it was something really cool about to happen, but he had to go see. Did he know if he was going to win or lose, how many points he was going to score? No. Let's go discover. So we're curious, we're courageous, we're not trying to get something from this person. We have an offering, and then we're going to go. And this is a little foreshadowing to what we're going to do in our next show. This is a really important moment here. If someone does want to be around you, that you don't gobble them up and don't just put them in your pocket and be like, I finally got it. No one else can have it. We're gonna talk about that later. But this, I think, let's do the 4-7-8 breath. You want to do a couple rounds? All right, let me talk it out first. The way this one works, you breathe in for a count of 4, then you hold your breath for a count of 7, and then you're going to exhale for 8. So the process of holding for 7, you're literally shifting the energy. So if you're way in your head, everything feels intense, it'll just shift it. And then if you slow your exhale down, you're slowing down under pressure now. Because how do we feel in these moments? Sped up, right? Oh my God, I got to say this sentence to this person. Like, slow it down, slow everything down. And so I want you to breathe in through your nose. As you breathe in, what you can imagine is imagine you have like a balloon in your belly, and you can kind of imagine that balloon expanding as you breathe in. So we're not just breathing in our chest,
Okay.
right? We're breathing a little bit deeper. This is kind of like that
What, diaphragm breathing?
yeah, exactly. Centering breath. Imagine you're breathing behind your belly button. It takes it deeper instead of just we're just kind of up in here, up in our head. We're really just lowering the energy down. And then the exhale seems like a lot to exhale for 8. Just slow it down. Just slow it down, and you just do the best you can. All right, you want to do? Let's do 3
Yeah,
rounds.
you.
So we'll start with an exhale. You ready? Let's do a
Okay.
3-second exhale. Ready? Exhale for 3. Let it out, Joey. 2, 1, and now inhale for 1. Keep going. 2, 3, 4, and hold your breath. 7. Relax. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 8. Nice and slow. 7, 6, good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And nice inhale again through your nose. Good. Breathing in deep, diaphragm breathing. Keep inhaling, and hold your breath at the top. Beautiful. Nice hold right here. Doing great. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale slow. Nicely done. Let's do one more round. Nicely done. 3, 2, 1. Last round. Nice inhale. 1. Feel your belly expanding. 2, 3, 4. When you're going to hold. Beautiful job. 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowest exhale of the day. Great. Beautiful work. Yeah. 5, 3, 2, 1. Nicely done.
That was awesome. So
What's a 478? Is that 15 seconds? I should know the math on this. No, 20? 20 seconds?
19 seconds.
Technically 3 rounds. That should be about a minute.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
That was amazing. Like amazing. I've done breath work before, but I've never. Like I've done breath work for so long. We had a sports psychologist on my swim team
Yeah.
since I was in middle school, and we would do breathing.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
But I've never. I've done a 478 with you, but I've never sat next to you having you specifically tell me how to do it.
Okay.
The biggest difference I noticed in that was the 8, the breathing out.
Okay.
Right? Like
Okay.
so. Normally, what I've done is like you breathe in and you hold it, and then you breathe out. And before, when I've done 478 with you, I'm breathing out for 8 seconds, but I'm like breathing out hard. And then by the time I get to like 5, I'm like,
You're
I
out.
don't know what I have left,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
But this time I just like
Mm.
relaxed into myself, and you were like, oh, just slow. Like you don't need to let it all out, but
Right.
just like slow
Yeah.
slow it down and
Yes,
slow how
baby.
much like restrict, you be in control
Yes.
of how you're doing it. And before I felt like I'm just like, okay, I'm doing this because Graham's saying to do this, and like now I'm out of breath, so I don't know what to do. It's like, well, I have agency over this. I can control
Good.
how much breath I let go of, so
Damn.
that I can make it to 8. And I noticed like when I took control over my breath, so maybe breathing isn't necessarily like getting it all in and getting it all out, but it's being able to know that you can control your breath. And once I realized that, and I just allowed myself to be like, I'm gonna control this the way that feels good for me. Like
Yes.
all the tension in my body was just
Ooh,
like, ugh.
blah. You know how people hate the unknown, but we're going into the unknown. This is what you control in the unknown. This is why your breath is so powerful. You have absolute control of it. We can get into math now. You know, I always talk shit about math and calculation. Let's calculate now. Slow that fucking breath down. And you found it. This is real training. And so the first time you do it, that's normal experience. I don't know what the hell's going on the first time I do stuff. A few reps into it, though, you really just slow it down. Now you're in control. Mind is racing, heart is racing. Oh my God, what's happening here? And you're like, watch me control this shit. And you could just be looking at the person and you're just really good at your breath. Nobody knows.
That's
Nobody knows.
I mean, this like I'm not kidding. I've been doing breath work for 30 plus years,
Yeah. Yeah.
like 30 years, and the last minute changed how I see it entirely.
Sheesh.
And it's like The whole point isn't to breathe. It's to know that you have control over something.
That's the control. And that gives you a good feeling, and it's physical, and this helps me because this is physical, right? Like when we talked to Chat GPT the other day, it doesn't understand feelings and physicality, and what the actual experience is going to be, right? So this is physical in nature. When your heart is pounding and you're feeling all this, this is physical. This is in your body. This is not just some mental. This is like I'm feeling it, so we have to be physical in nature in return. And that 478, this is what I work on with anyone before a performance, right? It's like, you could be a violin player, a lawyer, a teacher, going on a date, an athlete, uh, anything, a parent going to a PTA conference, with whatever it is, like whatever that moment is. And this gives you a real practical tool. And I want everyone to practice this stuff. You see how like you got a few reps in and you get better at it?
Mm-hmm.
Practice this stuff. And you'll have plenty of moments to practice this stuff. Stuff comes up all the time. And so bringing back to like, okay, we got to talk to a real human in real life. This is a very practical pre-date routine, pre-discovery routine where like you mentioned, like I show up and I'm getting my feelings and I fucking forget everything. That's all. Well, let's practice this a little bit. Maybe on the way on our date there, we have a song that helps us out or something that just reminds us, hey, let's breathe. This is really, really important because if we just go outcome result, I need it, that's, we kind of sabotage the whole thing. So, uh, man,
I just like so when you were talking about like kind of like offering them like the cheap,
yeah, yeah,
like we have this thing called like waiter of wisdom,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
But like maybe in those moments like you're a waiter of availability,
That's,
right?
dude, you're so on it. That's
And that like
exactly
now I'm like, oh, like
it.
I can use this in so many other parts of my life.
You
Like
can use this in
literally
anything you do.
any human interaction.
This is business. Anything you do, that secret sauce is I have an
Even like
offering.
checking out the grocery store. Like if you're not using self checkout, go to like the regular checkout
Yep.
and just offer yourself as like I'm gonna here to like have a genuine human interaction with the person that's checking me out of the grocery store.
And you don't even necessarily have to say words with this at times, right?
Yeah.
Just your presence, your open heart, you're willing to be present in these moments. People feel this stuff. I mean, the realest currency we have in my mind is our energy. That's the realest currency we have. It transfers immediately to people. And if we're offering that and we have that and the connectivity is there, well, you know, this I think it opens up for some real human stuff. I think, but like the 478, that really helps me. Another thing you can practice too is a 10 by 10 as you get better at this. You're like, I'm just going to slowly inhale for 10 and slowly exhale for 10. When I first heard that, I was like, impossible. I'll never be able to do that. And then you start doing it. You're like, it's not that big a deal. Then you can go in for 10, you can hold for 10 and go out for 10. Whatever your math count is, the idea is just breathe in deep, breathe in from your belly, and just hold.
As a swimmer, I'm like 10 by 10. Let's do 30 for 30, right?
See, you can do it. You got lungs for days. Yeah.
But it's not the idea of it's not it's literally not the idea of how long you can inhale and exhale.
That
It's
doesn't
just
matter. You're shifting the
right.
energy. You're feeling something, and you're like, watch me start to harmonize this energy because I'm getting mentally skilled here. I got some skills, got some real tools I can practice. Here's this person who is making all of my shit come up, all my feelings. Wonderful. Let me look at this as an opportunity to go have an offering with no attachment to any result.
So let's take it.
Yeah, where are we going?
Let's take it to. I guess it works. I guess it works whether you've met on an app or you're just getting right. Like I guess it doesn't. It works in any space. So now I go up. I've done the breathing. I go up and I talk to this person or I
Yeah,
meet this person or however the interaction happens. How do I stay inside myself?
you got to
Right?
practice.
Because like
You got to
that
practice. You got to
that
practice.
example I gave you in college is like I tried to settle myself down, did the best that I could, and I walked up and it was like,
So that was like, this is real. Think about it like practice. You can't do something one time. And like, yeah, I mean, how many times have you swam? Like that's how you get so good at this. So I like, where are your opportunities that you can go practice this stuff? Where are the opportunities? It doesn't have to be in the context of like, oh my God, I gotta like get a date or relationship. But where are some moments where you're like, hey, I feel a little vulnerable speaking, or I feel a little vulnerable, whatever it is, and I can go practice this stuff. For me, it was like music. I make like music and stuff, so I would make myself go around San Francisco. We did it the other day. It's really uncomfortable for me, and I put my speaker out and I would sing the hooks to my song in like these touristy areas, and I was like, this is humiliating. But I would do it because I knew that would open me up more, and I'm trying to unlock myself. I'm not necessarily looking for approval for someone on the streets, but I'm like, I need to go do this thing, right? So the irony was I went out and did it. I sang one of the hooks to Palms Down, and I was singing it at Ocean Beach in San Francisco, and a woman across the street opened up her window and sang it back. And I was like, whoa, not only this is what she was like, yeah, palms down. I don't react, I respond. And she started saying the whole thing. And I was like, okay, cool. That's a cool discovery. I just discovered I should probably keep doing this stuff, but it felt super vulnerable. So, like, that was a place I could go practice putting it out. I also did stand up comedy to try to get,
Wow.
yeah, to get uncomfortable.
That's a, yeah.
So once I figured, I'm like, in life, if you have to, you
That's
have
like
to do this
immediate feedback.
immediate, right? So I was like, I'd got some skills. I'd learned how to breathe a little bit. I knew vulnerability was a superpower. I'd convinced myself that like I'm not going to die doing stand-up comedy. So I enrolled in this program in San Francisco downtown, some sort of comedy club. You do like an 8-week training. You meet once a week, and the final is you do a show. Like you get on stage in a San Francisco nightclub. And as we were preparing every week doing the jokes, I knew I was bad. When you're like, damn, like I'm coming. I'm trying to write a joke. I'm like, not only is this not funny, I don't know how to project it. But the final, I get up on stage. They introduce. I barely remember. He goes, Graham. I grab the mic. I turn around and it's just all lights. You can't see anything, right? And I'm like, it's not like some massive, but like there's people there, right? And so I say the first joke, and that's when I realized there's a quietness past quiet. There's a silence that's so quiet that it's shocking. And I got to hear that. I got to hear a sound so quiet, and I was like, wow. So in this moment, two things are happening. I didn't know it could be that quiet, and also, I said, this is it. This is what everyone fears, right? I'm bombing. I'm in the middle of it, right? They're not even yet. Like I'm not being heckled. It's worse than that. Like they don't even.
I'm not even worth heckling.
When the audience is embarrassed for you, it's terrible for them. It's terrible for me. It's terrible for everyone. But I had the experience of in that moment when I felt like the bottomness hit. I said, "Oh shit, I'm safe." Right? I felt it. I felt an unlock in me. It just unlocked, and like a magnitude of energy opened up in me, and I was in awe of that. And I said something. And everyone laughed, and I was like, "Oh shit, what's happening?" And then I tried to go back to doing the jokes, and it was terrible, right? And I got off stage. I went out in the streets of San Francisco, and I was like, "I'm free, man." I just bombed in a comedy set in San Francisco on purpose, basically. And I couldn't like you had to try with the jokes. You can't just like bomb and like not try. I had to try. I tried with the jokes. I said them. They were bad, But after I was like, "Oh, victory!" And I was like, "Oh, victory of the vulnerable." Wow, I just won. And so that was a way to practice. And I wasn't mad at people for not laughing. It wasn't about you got to laugh. Like why don't they get the joke? I'm like that's not what this is about. I wanted to go through this thing. So I think there's usually in everyone's life, there's some places you can practice. Probably what you're thinking about right now. There's places you can practice in your life. There's places where shit feels uncomfortable and you got to show up. Whatever, it could be an email to a friend, it could be anything. But shit is real, dude, and like there's moments in your life where you're like, this is where I practice. And so that's what I noticed.
And we're not telling anyone to like go sign up for a comedy club or put yourself out there.
No, I'm just sharing. That's what I did.
But that's an amazing. Is there video footage?
No video. This was back in like 2005 or six. Damn, no video. But just
Still amazing.
just having like whatever it is, like whatever your thing is in life, where you're like, man, this is terrifying. For someone who's like naturally gifted at speaking, like easy for me to speak. Well, maybe being silent is the hard thing for you, and that's where you practice.
I know a lot of people who benefit from that advice.
Right, and they're quiet. All their stories are coming up that no one's going to think I'm intelligent, and no one, and you get to actually explore those stories. Maybe that's it for you. We all have our own thing. That's all I'm saying. Like we all have stuff.
So, like, what's coming to mind for me is start with some things that you're not scared to death of, right?
Yeah, right.
Like the the check out the grocery store, right? Or talking to someone at school pickup, right? Like someone you maybe never talked to. It's like someone of the same, like,
Yeah.
right? Like it's
Exactly
like
right. Exactly right. Start off like if this is training, don't go do a max workout like day one. Like start with like what's a reasonable thing for
right.
you.
Someone with like I can hold a conversation with a grocery store clerk,
Yeah.
and there's nothing emotional on the line for me,
There you
but I
go.
could still practice going into that conversation
Dude,
being
that's it exactly.
emotionally available to like just be me.
That's exactly it. You know who's good at picking up second languages? The ones who fumble through it in practice out there. They're like,
Oh
"Oh,
yeah,
I'm going to
like
go
get
try to
right.
order in Spanish at this taqueria. This I may not be good at it. I bet you will in a little while if you keep practicing." And it turns out when you practice, they don't just like say "fuck you" when you're trying. Like they're like, "Hey, that's pretty cool. You're
Like
trying.
you're trying to
You're
speak my language.
pretty cool, right? Even if you're struggling through it." So yeah, find little moments where you can do this. I was just noticing with my daughter the other day. Like we'd be at a restaurant, and for her, you like order for your kids, and there's a certain moment where you're like, all right, you place your order, and that's like a big deal for them, right? They gotta say, they gotta do it, and so like there's these little moments we can practice for all of us humans, to practice this stuff. For me, when I did the stand up comedy one, I was like ready for that. I'd been training on vulnerability. I'd
Right.
already experienced it. So I was like, let's go max out. What's the fucking ultimate fucking comedy?
I don't think you can get crazy like
No,
that.
I've
That's
still to this day,
insane.
and I was ready for it. And I did experience the bomb. And I was like, I'm free, And so for me, I was ready for that. I wanted that. Um, but there's steps to it. Just start off with something small. Just start off with something super small.
So let's
Like make
get
it practical.
into now. So you've gone up, or you've either met or you've talked to this person. You've gone up, like introduced yourself,
Yeah.
and let's go worst case scenario, right?
Okay.
You just get shut down.
Okay.
They're
Okay.
like, I
Yeah.
don't want to talk to you. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
How do you like? How do you? I don't want to say protect yourself.
What are you protecting
I
yourself
don't
from?
know the. I don't know the. I don't know the words. Like, how do you? How do you? How do you respond internally
Yeah.
to that?
Yeah.
And I'll
This
give you like, here's my thoughts, and then I want to know what you say if I'm on the right path or not. Is that if I'm truly going up and just being available and saying, here's what I have to offer, and it is up to you to how to respond, you just kind of walk away from that, not taking anything they said internally, but just saying, like, I guess you didn't like what I had to offer, and that's okay.
yeah.
Right? Like, you weren't interested in what I had to offer.
Think about again being at a party. Someone comes by with now they're bringing little, I don't know, potato dumplings or something, and you just say, "Here you go. Would you like one?" And they say no. They say, "Okay," and then just move on. So I think this is also not something you have to say out loud, but the internal part. This is a really big moment. This is how to, and I don't even want to say miss because I don't even think it's a miss. This isn't everyone I talk to. We've got to make this happen. We're in discovery. We're checking it out. I'm curious. It's not going to be everybody.
So, how does the waiter respond when someone's like, would you like this potato dumpling? And the person turns around and says, I didn't fucking ask for that. Get the fuck out of here.
Totally.
Right? Like,
I totally understand. You just say I totally understand.
oh,
I
okay.
I completely understand. Totally. And so that level of
It's like
acceptance,
releasing it.
because what are you trying to make them want it? You can't, like, that's not it. So our approach has to be like, I'm going to offer it, and whatever comes up for them, you're like, I totally understand. Maybe something came up for them the way you offered it. It's okay. That's their stuff. So having some compassion. Now, what you might be feeling is, so let's keep it
Your
real.
stuff.
You're going to feel all your shit. This is that moment of great practice. Go to your breath, and if we have just good language, I totally understand. Practice those words.
I
I
totally understand.
totally
I totally
understand.
understand.
Totally. Boom. And then gracefully move your body and keep it moving. So those are the actions, right, that we take. You're doing your 4 7 8s. You're there. You present it.
That was so much more simple than I thought you were going to
I no, dude, this has got to be.
say.
I totally understand. This might sound crazy. You work with like athletes or anybody, and it's wild, but they'll be really angry at referees and umpires, thinking referees and umpires are fucking them over on something in their life. And I'm like, what happens after you do that? Do they like work with you more? And they're like, no, it's terrible. And I said, well, what happens if you say I totally understand? And they'll be like, But they're hurting me. I'm like, no, they're not. What happens if you say, I totally understand? Try it. And as they try it, it gets profound what happens. And so I had one athlete, can't say his name, he was really good basketball player. He said, Graham, when I get the fucking ball, I get double and triple teamed every fucking time. Or when I don't have the ball, they fucking double and triple me. And he goes, they grab my nuts. They're fucking doing the shadiest shit. And I go, what do you do? He goes, I get pissed at them. Tell them don't fucking do that shit. And I go, how's that work? And he goes, doesn't go very well. And I go, next time they grab your nuts and they're doing that, one, why are they doing that to you? And eventually he was like, because I'm really fucking good. You go, you signed up for it. You're really fucking good. That's the deal. I said, next time they grab your nuts and do is say this out loud. I totally understand why you're grabbing my nuts. And he goes, that's crazy. I go, try it. Just try it. See what happens. In the game, doing crazy shit. And he goes, I completely understand why you're doing this. And he said the moment he said that, they went from a competitive threat and they melted. And because they didn't have you're thinking there's going to be like a thing. And he's like, I totally understand why you're doing it. Was able to be fluid, go make plays and do it. He wasn't concerned about them. So if you come into this thing, whether you're going to get a cold rejection and someone yells at you or something, I totally understand. Allows for grace to be in that moment. Now you're probably going to feel this. Someone's grabbing your nuts. That's not a good feeling, right? So you're going to feel like probably punching them. And if you punch them, you get in trouble. So if you walk up to talk to someone and they react to you and you react to that, we're in big trouble. So hey, I totally understand. Thank you for your time. Let me excuse myself.
And the example I gave of like, what the fuck are you doing? Get out! Like that's the extreme. Like, I don't know if that's ever happened to me.
But that's going on in your mind. It might happen.
Right.
So if you know, no matter what, I totally
Okay.
understand. I
Because they
totally
might say
understand.
something like, "Hey, I'm just here with my friends," right?
I mean, I'm already in a
My
committed
boyfriend's in the
relationship.
bathroom. My girlfriend's
I'm
in the bathroom.
gay.
Right.
What anything.
Whatever
And
it
you're
is.
like, cool, I totally understand. Thank you for that
Just
moment.
like,
And you just move. And now you're missing well. Now you're missing well. So if you miss better, you make more. Go back to what I taught Aaron Gordon how to miss. He missed. He was like, fucking A. And I was, we can't miss like that. So this is about, I miss really fucking. How does a baby learn to walk? They fall really well. They crawl really well. They don't avoid that shit. So we want to miss really well. And it's not even a miss because why would you?
how bad could it be if your answer is, "I totally understand."
And you're not trying to force it. And if someone's not the right fit, now you know right away.
Like
Great.
nowhere in a scenario. We'll just take an average scenario. You have all this hype about going to talk to somebody. You get up there, you fumble through some words, and they just turn and they say, "Hey, I'm just trying to have like a fun night with my friends here." Oh, okay, I totally understand. Like there's so much safety in that, right? There's
Man,
no threat, there's
no.
no death,
You're showing you're
there's no
emotionally intelligent.
nothing.
You're creating space. Even how you get rejected is powerful. And again, it's not a rejection because this is a discovery. And so you've made a great discovery either way. And that grace of how you do that shows really who you are. So this is miss better, make more, or fall, crawl, stand tall and ball. We want to get good at missing. And so every time you get good at that, the makes are kind of easy when that, or we're going to work on when a make happens. Don't eat the make. Like, don't destroy your whole fucking thing in that moment that a make happens and it feels right both ways. Um, but yeah, man, I totally understand. So this is called competitive compassion because the part of you, we're human, right? That shit stings. Like we're human. So when that sting hits, right, there's that golden opportunity to go, I totally understand. And you're really saying it to yourself too. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And this is a great moment for you. You just did wonderful. You had an open heart. This is why people don't open their heart because if I open, it's going to get hurt. But now we know if we sting a little bit, it's okay. Totally understand. Boom, great job. That's a win. Your runway is open, and we will find the right one that wants to land. And then even when it lands, it's kind of when the work really starts. When it lands, you can't eat the airplanes, But like, man, like really I, that's the irony of all of this to me. When I study like how this works, it's not about everything going my way. It's I miss really well. I miss really well. Same thing in a relationship. Me and my wife, we've gotten so much great coaching and counseling. Like that's what we invested. All my student loans early on when I couldn't pay, I was paying for counseling. so we can learn how to communicate and coach with each other. I was like, fuck it, I can't pay the loans back, but we're gonna rock and roll because I was like, this like really counts. And so one thing, we had a great marriage and family therapist we worked with. I have great resources around me that I'm thankful for, and I do all the work they tell me. And a great marriage and family therapist was like, "Hey, Graham, fights happen, man. Stuff happens. How well do you guys recover?" And I was like, "Wow." Like I never even thought about like recovering well. I was like, "Oh yeah, stuff happens. Do you recover well?" And I was like, "Oh, we practice that in sports. We call it next play." Or like, "Hey, you got to bounce back," or "Hey, I just got rejected. I handle that with grace. Watch how well I move forward." And so it's like learning these. And why is it hard? You get stung. Ding! Ah! Like there's the, oh, makes you want to shut it down. And you go, no, I'm okay. Totally understand. In that moment when you're staying open and doing that work, you are doing profound work. And your result is more of you is open, more energy is here, more higher vibration. All this shit is real. And so you can almost like thank someone for taking you through that because you're like, wow, thank you for that. I just had a chance to like practice total acceptance, totally understand.
This is all of this, like every episode we've done, it's such transformative work, right? That's how I see what we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, hell yeah. Transformational work is really what it is. This is the part we're always going to be real with. Cool. Maybe it sounds cool to hear us talk or make sense. This shit, you're going to be in your feelings. But we have something for our feelings, don't we? We got breath work that really works. We know how to reframe it. We know everybody feels shit. You're totally safe. We know in these moments we can do this stuff. You practice it a few times, you get better. This is the part that you don't have to be born with this. You do got to practice, right? When we say you're going to get good at missing, that's the truth, man. Like this isn't some trick
It's
to
so
get a
true. Like
result. It's
it
like,
changes it changes who you are, right? Like I'm thinking about the next time I'm in a situation like this,
yeah,
just like, okay, quick breath, get up, and right? Because what I know is like the longer you sit there, the more you build the stuff, right? It's like quick breath, go over there, say whatever,
yeah,
or like introduce, be available,
yeah,
and just like now I have tools, right? If it goes well, well then it goes well. Like I'm comfortable talking after that.
sure,
If they say no thanks but no thank like no thanks but thanks for asking,
yeah,
it's like I totally understand. Even just the act of saying that is feels transformative to me because I've now gone from being embarrassed, feeling all these feelings, getting down on myself, like kind of walking away in this like thing of shame and embarrassment that I feel like everyone in the
mm,
room is
mm,
feeling with me
mm.
to just I just had an interaction with someone and they weren't interested and I said no problem. Right? I'm like, that's okay. Right? It didn't have to work out. That's okay.
Dude, that's my comedy moment. After that, you're like, actually, I feel amazing. That's what starts to happen. Now, if we react, hey, fuck you, right, you're not going to feel amazing. You miss the whole thing and you're going to create a rift and there's an energy that's bad. I mean, not bad, like do what you want to do, but like if you in that moment look at it as a way to keep unlocking yourself, you made a great discovery and the reward is transformation is real. This isn't a joke. This isn't intellectual. You will experience it in real time. You'll feel old belief systems start to falter away as like you shift your perspective. And then, go try it. Where it always makes sense for me is I'm down to feel uncomfortable. Do the fucking breath work in there. Lean into that fucking shit. There's no way around it. Coach yourself through it. If Damian Wilkins feels like that, and he's a fucking big, we all feel like that. We actually have an article coming out soon where, like, trust me, everyone feels this, but you're actually safe. So we go back to I'm safe. I'm totally safe here. And no matter what happens, hey, I totally understand.
What gets me so excited about this is that we're creating real life
Yeah,
tools
it's real
for
shit.
people to use,
This is
right?
some
Like
real shit.
I've used
Some
so many tools. Like I
real
shared with you
shit.
before we even started. Like this morning, I woke up. I've had a lot where I am doing a lot right
Yeah,
now. Right?
you got a lot going
I
on in
had
your
a
life.
lot going on, and I'm trying to sort that stuff out in my head. I went to the gym, and I had so much anxiety. I didn't know where it was coming from. Like to the point where like I was like, I might have to leave class today.
Yeah,
Right?
real,
Like it was
real
bad.
shit, real shit.
And I've handled that. I've had that kind of anxiety before. I've handled it before, but I was able to squash it so much faster this morning because
Okay.
of the things that we've been talking about over the last few weeks. And so I went in and I breathed, and I was like, first thing I was like, okay, just breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, drink a little bit of water, hydrate, right? Hydration is like one of my big, like, it could totally change how you feel.
For sure.
And then I was like, okay, like, let's talk through this. Like, what is my anxiety trying to tell me? Like, what are these stories
Yeah,
trying
yeah,
to
yeah.
say? And I was like, okay, like, I'm nervous about this. I'm scared about this. I'm unsure about this. There's like a lot of uncertainty going on, right?
Yeah.
Around what I'm going to be doing the next
Who knows?
week, month, year, 10 years, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Who
yeah.
knows?
Real life.
And I finally got to the like foundation of there's so much uncertainty. I just don't feel safe.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I looked around the room. I was like, there's no fucking lion in here that's trying to eat me this morning. Like, I am not going to die
Yeah.
in the next 60 minutes of
Yeah.
class, right? And I was able to, like, and I want to say this too, when you get to that realization of like I'm not going to die, the feelings don't go away immediately,
That's right.
right? It took a few
Yeah.
extra minutes or maybe 20 minutes more of like just settling my nerves and settling into my body. But that's an example of like things I'm learning here.
Yeah.
And like I've had the skills, but I've never mentally and emotionally processed it the way that I did this morning.
Mm.
And like this, like, so what did we say today? We said do your 4-7-8 breathing
Yeah.
before you get there.
Yeah.
Learn that there's a lot of unknowns, but you can control your breath.
Yeah.
And then go do the thing that's hard.
Yeah.
And if the answer isn't what you want, I totally understand.
Yeah.
And go over there being emotionally available and offer that.
With no need of anything in return. That's the secret sauce. With no need of anything in return, you did your job. This is like if you can hear the play, run the route. So if you've opened your heart up, it's talking to you and it says, hey, go check that, go say hello over there. You go, okay, I hear the play. And then maybe you don't hesitate for 30 minutes. Maybe now you're like, maybe no, really, because you go, what's the point, right? Then that just makes it long. Maybe you go, I heard it, let me go do it right now, and then boom, we're done. And then you did your job. Like you did your job. I don't know what's going to happen after that. I'm already not even really concerned with that. I just know I have to go do this. So this is the power of surrender. Surrender means I'm going to go do it right now. When you wait 20 or 30 minutes, right, you're not surrendering. So actually surrender is a powerful word. In terms of like martial arts or athleticism, it means no fucking hesitation. None. Zero hesitation. Bing bang. You hear it, run it. And so there's no gap between how you're processing things from your deepest intelligence to when you're acting on them. Awareness, action.
There's like nothing to get in the way.
You're living present. Shit will happen. And so instant, just it's already done. Shit'll be done in like 6 seconds, 7 seconds. When you get really good at this, you just don't hesitate because you can hear it. Don't fucking pretend you don't hear it. You fucking hear it. Do it.
So one of my like
At least that's what I try to tell myself because we hesitate, right? But you're like, does it ever feel better when you hesitate? No, it doesn't. It doesn't ever.
I'll say this like and this is kind of how I this is like a window into how I process things. And this happens in work settings a lot, right?
Yeah.
Is I'll be in a meeting and everyone will be talking. I've had people tell me like, "You're kind of quiet in meetings.
Okay.
Like, are you paying attention?" And like, what
Yeah, yeah.
what's going? Like, you're just not like you're not sharing as much. You're not offering as much. And like a long time ago, I had some managers tell me that, and I think about it. And what's happening for me is
Hmm.
when I speak, and I don't know, maybe people are noticing this on this show too. I don't know. When I speak, I want my words to be curated when they come out,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
I want to convey exactly what I'm thinking in that moment. One of the spaces where I'm so uncomfortable is like when I'm processing things in real time and speaking about them in real
Okay.
time
Okay.
because I don't like having to talk things through in real time. Like
Ah.
if I'm in a meeting setting, right? Like I'm so much more comfortable listening, processing, organizing my thoughts so that when I come out, they're packaged and they're like, this is what I think. and here you go. Like it is very understandable. It's clear. I'm
Yeah.
communicating clearly, right? Because I feel like when I get put on the spot, I'm like I talk in circles or
Okay.
whatever. And so in a dating situation or in a discovery situation,
I don't date, I discover.
right? Right? In a discovery situation, like I take that 20 minutes because I'm like curating how this is gonna
Okay.
go down. And I honestly feel like
Okay.
if I just went up and said something, I don't know if I'd have anything to say.
Makes sense. This is all super valid and real, man. I think we just meet ourselves where we are and what works with us. I mean, I've improv is another great place to practice this stuff because improv, if you think about it, life is improv. It's all just happening in real time. We don't know what's about to happen. In improv, me and you might be in a scene, and someone says, "Okay, here's a scene. Joey, you're a basketball player, and you're pissed off after a game. Go." And you don't get 20 minutes to be like, "All right, now what's the?" You got to be like, "What's up?" Like you just jump right into it. So,
Like
um,
those people, everyone knows these people that like things will happen and they'll just be like that one person that immediately says that one line that like makes you laugh or like puts the whole
sure, sure.
scene in perspective.
Yeah, yeah.
I've always been kind of jealous of those people and
Okay.
the ability to do that because I'll be doing that and then like on the car ride home 45 minutes later I'll be like, oh, I thought of something really funny to say then, right?
There's the perfect thing to say.
Like
You know what, man? I'm with you on that. Maybe that's a place you practice a little bit. Maybe in a meeting, you're like, maybe instead of trying to be perfect with this, maybe I allow myself to go in.
practice failing
And then
practices.
what would happen if the words aren't perfect? Is life going to be over? Like, probably not. I mean, you know what I mean? So I think this is a good example of like you identifying a little place in your life where you're like, perhaps this is a place where I could like try this a little bit. Because I think you'd probably be totally safe in a meeting, and I bet you have some really cool stuff to say, and I bet you it's there right away, And I mean that might be a place to practice.
And I'm better like that in that professional atmosphere. I got that feedback a while ago, and I'm much better now because I'm conscious of it.
Okay,
But
cool.
I'm definitely still one of the more quiet people in the room,
Yeah.
just listening, observing. I think like maybe a better place to practice is like in those scenarios where like something happens, and I
Okay.
just need to like say the first thing that comes out of my mouth, and maybe I'll get crickets. Maybe I'll experience the quieter than quiet, and
Dude, let's check it out. Go
like
explore.
every once in a while I'm gonna get a hit, right?
Go check it out. Go see what
So
happens. Go discover. Go be curious. You can always come back to what you're doing, right?
right, I can always just be quiet
You can
again.
always be like, I know how to be quiet in a meeting. I've done this before. So that always exists. Perhaps maybe you practice a little bit. Maybe you learn something about yourself. Like, do I want to do stand-up comedy? No, but like, it was good practice. Do I want to go do improv? No, man. Like, never. But it was a cool practice for me. It was like a good practice. Doesn't mean I had to do that for life or something, but I got what I needed from it. It helped me out.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I think tomorrow Roberto's asked me to go hang out with him tomorrow night, and so I'm gonna be out there and I'm gonna be practicing this stuff
Go
again.
practice it. Good.
And I do want to give everybody an update. The last show we did on dating apps, we talked about this new way to structure your profile. So my
Yeah.
profile now, you know what? I'm gonna read it to
Yeah.
everybody.
Read it.
Let's
Read it
get
out.
some let's get some feedback.
Keep it real with people. Let's see what's going on.
So this is now what they say. So you see my picture, you see
Yeah.
my name, and then it says I erase all the prompts,
Yeah.
all other information about me, and it says I believe in real connection. If you're curious and feel like I'm someone you'd like to get to know, let's explore it in person. I'm trying something different. If we match, I won't have read your profile yet. I'd rather meet you with a clean slate, like I just said hello to you in a coffee
Ooh.
shop.
Nice.
I'm here to discover, not perform. I'll leave you with this. I've done enough growing to know who I am and enough to stay open to discover what's next.
I like it, dude. I think that's really good.
And I will tell you, and I just opened this one and I had two more likes.
Okay.
The day after I changed this, I had an increase.
Wow. Okay.
which I think says something.
Hey, there's a connection there.
Right?
Hey, if you're letting people know who you really are. If you really knew me, you would know that. Here you are. You're showing yourself.
So try it if you want. If you don't, I don't know. These have not like reached out. I don't think I'm match. I didn't want to match with anybody yet, but
Yeah, yeah,
at least it feels like it's attracting
yeah.
more people
Good work.
than usual. So
We'll go check it out.
there it is. But I'm really excited for the next episode that we're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's going to be about once you've gone through all these steps so far, you've talked to the person. Now maybe you're in a little bit of a relationship, or you're starting to be.
Sure.
Like how you don't just absolutely consume
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I think we've all experienced that.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon. Making space for love. Let's go.